Want to know what your house would sell for in 2021?
Stay tuned to find out.
Oh, good.
Everybody, I'm Hal Cohn.
And I'm Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group, and this is Dixie Lola.
Yeah, so but don't pay attention to her, pay attention to us, but she's a lot cuter. So if this is your first time to our channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the amazing Roanoke Valley.
That's right, it is pretty incredible, and we have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and those surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, please get in touch with us. We'd love to have a conversation and answer any questions you may have. You can call us, you can text us, or you can email us.
We'll see you soon. Hey, and welcome to our front porch here in Virginia.
Yes, it is such a beautiful June day. We thought we'd hang out and have some lemonade. And, this is where a lot of our conversations and relationships start, is the front porch, swinging, rocking, sitting, or around the dining room table. And talking about selling your home or buying a home, that's definitely no exception. We usually love the opportunity to meet with folks in person if that's an option, and we just talk about life and their goals and their dreams. And so you might be thinking about selling your house.
Yeah, we're sitting on the front porch like we said at our house, and we are not thinking about selling this year.
No,
But
I love our house.
we love it. It was a blessing to us, and we are thrilled to have it. No need to sell right now. But if you are one of those who are thinking about selling right now, and you're hearing all this craziness on the news, on the internet about it being a seller's market, then we want to help explain that to you today and how it might be beneficial for you as a seller to sell here in 2021.
Yeah, we have clients that are contacting us that say, our market is crazy. Is it like that in Roanoke? So we want to give you a little bit of background of what we're seeing here. It may be pretty similar to what you're seeing in your area, because a lot of the trends that we're seeing in Roanoke go across the nation as well.
Yeah, and we usually trend a little bit behind some of the national trends when it comes to buying and selling. However, it is a crazy market right here. It is a seller's market. And why is it a seller's market? Well, there's low inventory. And because of low inventory, there's more buyers than there are houses to be had. And then the number of buyers is high because our interest rates are still super historically low. They're the low 3% for a 30-year mortgage. It's like you're under 3% for a 15-year mortgage. So people are well qualified. They've got money. They've got good credit scores. And they're able to buy a house. So they are looking strong, fast, and furiously.
Yeah, and we've heard this before. We know that COVID has played some role in this demand for a new home, whether your house was too small or you've been able to now work from home and you need another dedicated office space.
Right.
Whatever it is, it could be for the kids or just you're tired of looking at the same four walls.
That's right. Like,
So that plays a part into this as well. And whenever we say low inventory, what that really means, if you're not familiar with that term, is that there's not enough houses available and ready on the market to sell.
all right, so since we are telling you it is a seller's market, you may be considering selling your home this year. And how are you going to determine what that home's really worth? So what we see a lot of the times is people will start looking at Zillow and the Zestimate. So sadly, that is a horrible place to start. That's easy access, of course. However, if you start looking at the Zillow terms, it tells you that they are almost always at least 10% off. That could be 10% lower, 10% higher than what your home is really worth and what it could sell for. And then it doesn't take into consideration the minutia, like whether or not the actual bedrooms and bathrooms are accurate on there, the square footage, upgrades, move-in readiness, or the condition of the home. So that algorithm, that computer-generated algorithm, is not able to take that in consideration, but you can, because you're a human, and your trusted real estate advisor can do that as well to help you truly define what your home's worth in 2021, which is a moving target because of the fact that things are changing so rapidly.
Right, and we don't have any crystal ball. We can't tell you what market's gonna be like in 6 months or a year from now if you're watching this. So there's really no way of knowing, but we do have some factors that can help influence that price that you would be able to sell your house for, and we're going to go over those things. But just so you understand what market you're dealing with in Roanoke here, we have a pretty hot market, as we've said over and over again. But what we're seeing, if you want a concrete example, is we're seeing an increase of prices of about 30%.
Year over year.
Yeah.
So from last year to this year, you're up by about 30%.
Right. So that means like if you had a house that was selling for $250 in this market, generally speaking, it would be selling for $325. Now, obviously, that's not the case in every home for sure, but it does give you an idea of where we are today.
So as you're determining what your home is worth here in the current market, whether personally or you enlist a real estate advisor, one of the first factors that's going to influence the value of your home and what it's going to sell for is going to be location, location, location. I know that was 3, but it is super imperative when it comes to figuring out what your home's worth here in 2021 and in any real estate market.
Yeah, I think this is one of the first things that people think about is where am I located? That's going to influence the price for sure. So let's think about some of those things that play into location. People are looking for the amenities that they want, a school district that they want, the neighborhood, part of town. All these things play a role into a desirable location. A recent example of this is we had some great clients come to us from Chicago, and they were looking for a very specific location. As a matter of fact, they wanted a train in their backyard. And if you're watching, hey, they wanted to be able to hear and see the train right in their backyard off their deck. And we knew this was going to take a little while to find. So if buyers have a particular need or want in mind, it may take a little longer, but great story for them. We were able to find them a home that had a train right down below their deck, and they are very much loving this location. But it really depends on the buyer. I mean, every buyer wants something a little different.
It could be size of the yard. So some people are like, hey, I want an acre. I need 2 acres, I need 3 acres, or hey, I want to be in a cul-de-sac, or I want to be within 5 minutes of X, I need to be within 10 minutes of the hospital. So there's all sorts of things that go into that location whenever the buyers are looking for it. And if you're in a specific location that is super desirable to that specific buyer, then they're going to act quickly and they may pay you more than market value. All right, so let's talk about another factor that is going to influence what your home is worth here in 2021, and that is going to be whether or not it is move-in ready.
Definitely. We hear clients all the time saying, it's got to be move-in ready. We don't have time or the expertise to do some of the projects that require to get their house up to speed, to get their family moved in pretty efficiently. So you want to get your house as close to move-in ready and overcome as many obstacles as you can if possible. Don't worry though, if it's not exactly move-in ready, it still will sell pretty quickly on this market, but it may take just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and so if you choose to work with us, which we highly recommend, of course, if you're selling your home, we have property stylists that come in and help you navigate that process to make it wow and make it pop for the buyers when they come in. Because if it's more HGTV, move-in ready, then the quicker it's going to sell, and you're going to probably get more for it. So you don't want a fixer-upper going on the market. It'll sell, but it's not going to necessarily sell as quick or for as much money.
Right, and what we're seeing is some of these move-in ready homes are selling within a matter of hours, especially if you're looking in the 250 to 500 range. For it to be on the market for a week is pretty unheard of unless it's really overpriced or it's in a unusual location, I'll say. But if you have your house move-in ready condition and the location is right, don't be surprised if it doesn't sell in the first few hours or couple days.
Okie dokie. So another thing to consider as a factor for the value and worth of your home here in 2021 is the fluidity of your home.
Ooh,
what does that
fluidity.
mean?
I like fluidity.
Yeah.
That's funny. More popularly known with the buzzword of open floor plan or open concept is this thought of fluidity. So we always joke that if on our initial consultations, what we hear over and over and over and over again, and what's really on the hearts and minds of buyers is having an open floor plan, open concept. So if we had a dime for each time that a client said, we want open floor plan and move in ready.
There you go, exactly. Those two words
rich.
are synonymous with each other basically, or something like that. So anyways, So the whole open concept is huge, and you know why that is? I blame it on HGTV, because everything you see on there is like just popping, and it's like wide open, right? Oh, I'm gonna go take down 5 walls and make this open. And our contractors will tell you anything is possible. You just have to have the money to do it. So, you know, if you don't see one, if you're working with us, you see one that like, hey, I like a lot about it as far as location, I like the lot and that type of thing, then we can help you figure out, oh, could we take this wall down and make it more open? Can we do these things to update it, make it usable, and it's still a good value based on what's selling in the neighborhood and long-term viability of that? We can do that. So people are looking for that open concept plan. So if you already got it, you're getting ready to sell, then your home's going to be more desirable, and it's going to garner a higher price because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get this. I mean, I get the open concept. You want a space where pretty much everybody lives in the same area, right? But you have those rooms tucked off to the side, maybe an office, obviously your bedrooms, bathrooms, that are more private areas. But people, let's just find one big room to do life in. I mean, we did this to our house.
Just thinking that.
We have a Victorian, and it was very traditional, but we blew out a wall, like you said.
I blew it out myself.
Yeah, that was funny.
Me and some friends.
And blew out that wall, and boy, it makes such a big difference. I mean, you can just see the length of the house. So we have kitchen, living room, dining room, playroom, all in one space, and that's pretty much where we live. So I can see why it's so sought after. But even some of the ranches, we have a lot of traditional ranch homes here, and those are pretty easy too, to maximize the space by taking out walls or opening up some holes to make it feel more open.
And the split foyers are easy to do that with too. You can take that little corner wall out of the kitchen area between that and the dining and living room. So there's options just in case you find a house in an area you love, but you can't actually see an open concept at the time that may be able to happen. So let's talk about another factor that's going to impact the value of your home here in 2021 and what it's worth. And that's going to be modern updates and finishes. What are we talking about there?
Well, just the more work that you can do while you're living, or have done while you're living there. What that means is the more work that you can do or have done to the house to make it desirable and up to date, then in the buyer's mind, that translates to less work that they have to do. And that's a huge appealing factor for them.
Yeah, they're willing to pay more for that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the couple of main areas you want to check in your house to see if they've been updated or they're more modern, it's going to be your bathrooms and your kitchens. Because people are like, hey, we live life in the kitchen. And I see it all the time. We go look at houses with buyers.
Yes.
And where do we stop and linger? The kitchen. As long as it's an appealing kitchen, we're there, we're talking across the bar, that type of thing. And saw it a few weeks ago when some clients were in town. It was like 10 houses. And the house that had the biggest kitchen, the nicest kitchen that they could see themselves cooking and entertaining in, that was the house they chose to put an offer in on and accepted.
Yeah, and people really do linger in the kitchen anyways. But those areas of spaces, you want to make sure that they have things like, even down to the fixtures and the finishes, like we're talking granite countertops if you can afford that. Some of the composites now look really good too.
They do.
But look at all of your finishes and fixtures, try to get them updated a little bit, and that will really bring a fresh look to your home. Some other things we recommend to our sellers as we're guiding them through the process to get their home perfectly market ready is 3 main things. 1, decluttering. Decluttering is a huge factor that can really change the look of your home. Number 2 is a neutral coat of paint. Right now, gray is still hot.
Agreeable gray, baby. Agreeable gray, agreeable gray. That is the color of choice by our professional stylist.
Yes, and then also lighting. So the lighter an area can look, it makes it feel bigger, it makes it feel kind of happy and spacious and airy, and people are drawn to that too. So if nothing else, some newer updates, finishes, fixtures, and then declutter, check your lighting, and also have a neutral paint color.
And we are not saying that you need to go out and totally remodel, renovate your kitchen and your bathroom if you're getting ready to sell, because that would probably not be a good investment. But if you have done that, there are some small things that you can do. Those are things you want to look at, and that's something that we can help you with if you choose to work with us at some point in time to sell your home. We can make sure that you maximize those little things to get as much profit as possible from your property. Okay, so the moment of truth. How many of these factors does your home encompass right now.
Yeah, and so if you identified that your house had at least one of these factors to increase the value, good for you. That might mean that your house is going to sell a little bit quicker and for more money. But if you had 2 or more, that's fantastic. Yes, you are on your way. And don't worry, if your house doesn't check off a lot of these factors that we mentioned, it's okay. It will still probably sell pretty well on this market.
And it's worth more now than it was a couple, 3 years ago, just because of the market conditions, you know. So with that, one of the things we were just talking about is the fact that, you know, even if your home doesn't meet like all 3 of these criteria, if it's like clean, well maintained, that type of thing, that makes a huge difference. Even if it's not updated, because people can see the love and the care you put into it. So you may not get maximum profit, like crazy numbers, but you're still going to be able to sell pretty quickly and for more money than you could have 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that is a great point.
Yeah.
So if you're ready to take the next step, we would love to have a conversation with you. You can call us, text us, or email us, and we can walk you step by step through our proven process.
All right, we'll see you in the next video.
Cheers. This breeze feels so good.